I don't even know how to explain the amount of emotions that I felt while watching this movie. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and I just returned a while back after watching the Kannada film Kantara, and I was like, nothing doing, just put the setup right now, and I want to immediately share my thoughts. What completely baffled me, and I was thinking about this while driving back home right now, was that the writing and the narrative of this entire story had so many aspects to it, and I don't know how Rishabh Shetty did it, but all of the different aspects came in together so well. I remember saying in the trailer reaction that the film looks very, very culturally rooted, and a lot of people are going to get introduced to a culture which they're probably not familiar with, someone like me. And yes, the movie is deeply rooted in the culture, tradition, spirituality, rituals, a lot of those things, but on the other hand, it has a very, very commercial touch to it as well. Now, without giving out any spoilers, I just want to say the writing of this film is impeccable. On a macro level, if you think about it, the story is pretty much simple and straightforward. But on a micro level, what Rishabh Shetty has written, I mean, it's not just a plain out and out revenge story. The writing talks about a lot of things like spirituality, belief of the village people, belief versus duty, the issue of illegal encroachment, and lastly, the caste divide. All of this is not just thrown into our faces, but it is so smartly integrated into the narrative and in a very, very nuanced way. I will obviously not give out any spoilers, but I want to say that the depiction of Bhutakola, which is a form of spirit worship, and Kambala festival, the way these two things were presented to the audience, I just got goosebumps. Specifically for Bhutakola, when I was watching it on screen, I don't know, I was completely mesmerized and something just happened to me. I cannot explain that feeling, guys. And all of this belief and rituals and traditions have been shown in the film with a very clear-cut goal in writing, because it completely adds to the narrative of the story. It's not just shown for the heck of it. One of the strongest aspects of the writing is the entire world building, because at one point of time, and I'm absolutely not overstating this, guys, at one point of time I completely forgot that I was watching a movie. I was so immersed in that world that, like I said, it cannot be explained in words, guys. It just can be felt. Now, apart from the main plot, there is also a love story which is part of the subplot. Now, overall, I enjoyed the love story, though there were one or two scenes which were a little bit problematic. Like, I did not agree with that, and honestly, if it was not there, the movie would have been just fine. Or one can argue that Rishabh Shetty's character is kind of like the anti-hero. I'm not saying completely an anti-hero, but kind of like an anti-hero. So obviously he's gonna not have like all good traits in him. He's gonna have certain bad traits in him also. But still, I was not very comfortable with those particular scenes. But apart from that, the love story was enjoyable, and surprisingly, the comedy was amazing and on point. I did not expect the film to have like so many comical moments, but they were very, very organic and natural. It did not feel forced at all. All of the characters, I felt personally, was done really well and written really well, except for Achyut Kumar's character. I felt that was pretty much one dimensional. Like, I could guess how his arc is going to go. Like, you can make an easy guess when you're watching the film, because when the climax part came in, I was not really surprised by his behavior. I was like, yeah, I expected this. So if his character had given me some shock value, the experience would have been even better. Now, before moving on to the technical aspects and the performances overall, I want to share my experience of what I felt while watching the last 15-20 minutes of this film. I was transfixed. That is the word I want to use. Like, my eyes were wide open. I was just staring at the screen like that, and this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing, and I just don't know how to explain what I was feeling. It's like something entered my soul, and I was just feeling the chills, because the way Rishabh Shetty acted in that scene. I mean, that was not acting. I'm sorry. I don't even want to call it as acting. It was as if the spirit in reality had entered his body, and this is what letting go is called. I cannot describe in words that performance. I just don't know what to say. Like, what I was watching, I don't know how to explain in words. I had tears in my eyes when the movie ended. I actually had tears. Now when I'm recording this and I'm thinking about it, my eyes are welling up. After the climax, when the Bhuta Kola ritual was shown in the end, I had tears. I just had tears, and I cannot explain that experience. Now, coming into the technical aspects, everything like the cinematography, the BGM and sound design, and the editing, all of them were outstanding for me at least. The way the forest was shot, especially the nighttime scenes, they were so beautifully done. The way the action sequences were shot, not just the hand-to-hand action combats, which were in slow motion, they were really beautifully done, but also the entire chaotic action sequences. Those were done very, very well. And there are certain brilliant jump scares in the film, which is a combination of great cinematography, amazing editing, as well as really good sound design. I was highly, highly impressed with the sound design, especially in the action scenes, when Rishabh Shetty and other people, they are throwing in their punches and all. Those sounds were so outstanding. The BGM was also very unique. Like I said before, this movie has this commercial touch to it, but the BGM was not like those usual massy action scenes BGM that we are used to in commercial cinema. I could say that a lot of thought has been put into designing the BGM for specific scenes, like really, really tailor made. This movie showed a really good camaraderie between these three aspects of editing, sound design, BGM, and cinematography. Now, coming to the performances, yes, I know Rishabh Shetty is the man, but all the other actors who were in the supporting roles did phenomenally well. A really special mention for Deepak Panajay, who played the character of Sundara. He was hilarious. All of his scenes I laughed out loud. His comic timing was impeccable. Prakash Tuminar as Rampa and Shanil Guru as Pulla. I loved these two actors as well. And the camaraderie between all the actors with Rishabh Shetty and their banter, their comical dialogues, all of that, the entire friendship was so good. It felt very organic. It did not feel forced. Like you could really, really see the genuine friendship between these characters. I loved Kishore Kumar as Murli because there was a certain restraint in his performance. And the way Murli's character arc goes throughout the film, I was very happy with it. That restrained, understated performance made Murli a very, very intimidating character for me. He had an amazing screen presence. Achyut Kumar also performed really well, but it was his character writing which I did not like. Like I said before, it felt very one-dimensional. I could guess how his arc is going to go. Then coming to the man of the moment, Rishabh Shetty. I mean, take a bow. This is what loving cinema looks like. Because when I was watching, I realized, that he's the writer, he's the director, as well as he's the main lead. And he nailed all three aspects of it in the single film. That one scene of the Kambala festival shown where the racing is happening, that scene is less than a minute of him doing that race. But just for that, he trained properly. He did not use a body double. I mean, just the dedication, the sheer amount of dedication blows my mind away. What he did at the end of this film, in that 20 minutes of the climax sequences, I mean, that is going down in history of Indian cinema as one of the best acted climax scenes ever. And this performance is not just going to be considered as one of the best performances of 2022, but this is going to be considered one of the best performances of all time by an actor. And I'm totally not exaggerating it. This is genuinely what I feel. And if there is someone who did not like this movie at all, but that person cannot deny the amazing performance given by Rishabh Shetty at the ending climax scenes. I swear it felt to me that something possessed him. And watching him, I felt that something has possessed me. So yes, in the end, I would say that this is a movie I would recommend it to everybody, like every possible person that I know in my circle and whoever has come across this video. You might like the film, you might find it average, or you might not like the film. I mean, that is very, very subjective and unique to each individual, but I would not want you to miss out on this film. This was a very unique movie viewing experience for me. There's so many movies and series I watch, there's so much content that I consume, but there are certain films that or certain series or certain things which completely shake you to the core or leaves you speechless. I mean, this is one of those films for me. So yes, those were my thoughts on the Kannada film Kantara, and the Hindi dub version is releasing. I'm definitely going to watch that as well. If you want me to share my thoughts on the Hindi dub, please let me know. Then I'll make a separate video for it after I watch it. And yes, that was the video, guys. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will sign off from this video now, and I'll see you soon on my next one. Bye.